Do 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 do. I really should be asleep right now, but I got the energy to create, man. When you've been gone for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and you come back, you know what I'm saying. I guess you could say somewhat with the vengeance or whatever. But yeah, I did a bonus episode. Like, I have these moments all the time where I'm really kind of just sitting at the desk and I'm just talking and I'm chopping it up and I'm thinking through things in my mind, and I'll just run off and start talking. But one of the things I always talk about with my peeps and other people is this rat race as it relates to content creation, social media, YouTube in general. And so if you want to hear more of that content, I know a lot of you guys are reviewers that watch me, up and coming reviewers, people that are in the same seat, in the same boat that I'm in. We're all swimming in the same direction, you know what I'm saying, trying to get to that destination, which is success. And I always say this. I want to say this as a baseline and an encouraging word to everybody. Never use somebody else's finish line to measure, judge, or determine how you start your race or the pace you run your race at. Never use somebody else's finish line to determine, judge, or measure how you start your race or the pace that you're going to run at. My grandmother would say it like this: baby, start out like you can hold out. What happens a lot of times is we see the end result and the finished product of where people are. We see a Gent Sense. We see Jeremy fragrance. We see Curly fragrance. We see Cuba. I talked about Chad Sense today, FBF fragrances. Their Neeb aromatics, Ross. There are so many people who I could name that are within this quote unquote upper echelon. Like, you know, when you start pushing like 100,000 subs, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of in what they will call the Illuminati. And then you have a lot of people who are in that 20 to 30,000 range. And then you have people who are floating chaos. I forgot about him. People that are floating around that 50 to 75,000, and people that are trying to get to 100K. And then you have the rest of us who are trying to get to 1,000. And then some of us, we're on the way to 5,000. And then some of us are on the way to 10,000, you know. So you got to get in where you fit in. And those of you who are just getting started, understand that it's not oversaturated. It may seem that way, but if you look at the numbers and the statistics of how many people are actually creating content, and especially when you're in a quote unquote smaller community, like Fragcom really can feel like a small place. You know what I'm saying? But if you really think about the amount of people that are interested in fragrance across the world, the amount of people that purchase fragrances, you know what I'm saying? Fragcom is much bigger than we make it out to be. It's the people and the personalities that make the community feel much smaller than what it really is. And that, for the most part, is a good thing, but it also has its cons. You know, you have your pros with that, and it has its cons. There are little things that drive me crazy. Like right now, I don't have my watch on, so I feel crazy. I feel naked. You know, some of the things people say, well, you might be acting like a female, but I'm taking this, you know, I've been on this medication since I've been on my break, and it's like been tearing my skin up, you know, so I got like these 2 dark spots or whatever that are showing up more. I'm having more breakouts than I was having because I'm still getting adjusted to the medication and all of that. And those are things that you wouldn't think people think about, you know what I'm saying? But most people, there are a lot of people who are afraid to get on camera because they don't like how they look. And because they see other people, it is a reflection of their insecurities. Most people don't get started because they spend too much time watching other folks, and then be the people that be in the comments. You know what I'm saying? They got everything to say. They got 500 like, let me tell you something. If you got that many fragrances, you need to have a channel. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, what are you doing? Like, you need to start a TikTok, Instagram, something. And people be like, well, I don't have the camera. I don't have the microphone. I don't have the lights. Man, listen, you got a phone, and your phone has a camera and a microphone on it, and it sounds good. I've been there. I've done that. When I first got started creating content, and I remember I started a podcast, was one of the first things I did, the Create, Inspire, and Solve podcast. And I recorded, Poor Man's Studio. Two best places is either in the closet of your home, apartment, or whatever, or in the car. And so I was recording episodes in the car, and I would record the episodes as if somebody was interviewing me. And so I've always learned how to talk. Like, people hit me up, they'd be like, man, you make it look so easy, this, that, and the third. It's like, because I'm not new to this. I might be new to fragrance as from a standpoint of like how to review fragrances. I think there is a particular way to review fragrances. I think there is an expertise when it comes to reviewing fragrances. I know we love to say that some people are shilling and this, that, and the third. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you're a good salesman, quote unquote, meaning you have the authenticity, you have the personality, you have the influence, like people rock with you, good, bad, or indifferent, you can sell anything. You can sell salt to a slug. Some people don't understand that. And a lot of times we have people, not just in FragCom, but in communities everywhere, where you have these people, they just get mad and they hate on the people that are actually finding a way to be successful, and they accuse them of everything. Some of it, yeah, they're right. And then some of it is just, don't you have something better to do than to sit here and pick apart people that have everything seemingly going right for them? And I get it, because sometimes it does bother me when I feel like we don't do our due diligence or our just as reviewers and influencers and creators of taking care of our viewers and our followers and our subscribers. I work in IT, and I'm big on the customer experience, CX, customer success management, and all of that. Not just the break fix. Like, there are people that work in tech, they were always referred to as nerds, and they were super smart, but they were always socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, they really lacked people skills. They could build you a supercomputer, but they never got invited to the party because they lacked social skills. And so I think a lot of people, YouTube in general, not just FragCom, but social media, YouTube in general, is one of those places where you don't have to be perfect. But if you're a people person and you understand people, now some people take that too far and they try to manipulate people, because there's a psychology and a science to everything. And if you understand human buying behavior and all those different types of things and Maslow's hierarchy of needs, some of y'all are like, Walt, what the heck are you talking about? I told you, I'm not new to this. You know what I'm saying? There's a method to all the madness. There's a strategy behind everything. Like, you can be successful in any niche or in the industry that you put yourself in if you learn to understand the people in the community. And so that's why you see, like, for example, I tell people, get in where you fit in. If your audience will determine what content they want to see. I was talking to one of my boys, I'm not gonna call his name, but he was like, man, I'm not growing. And I'm like, because you're creating content for yourself and not the audience. So you can't measure growth against your own quote unquote will. You can't measure growth against your own preferences. You know what I'm saying? If you like niche fragrances, then you have to dive all the way into niche fragrances, and you have to find a way to present them that's going to be compelling for people to watch those videos. But you can't get upset at people that are blowing up because they primarily do clone videos because that's what's hot right now. And so we got too many people who are sour and bitter about a lot of different things because you're over here judging another man or a woman's success and trying to measure it against your own. Again, do not use somebody else's finish line. Do not look at the finished product. Do not look at somebody who's been doing this a year, 2 years, 5 years, 15 years. I've been creating content officially since like 2013. I've had a camera in my hand since probably I'll be 38 this year. Probably 30 years of my life I've had a camera of some sort. I'm a musician. I'm a creative. I'm a graphic designer, a web designer, a photographer, cinematographer, video. I've done it all. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm the type of person, I sit here, just like the other video. I was trying to figure out light and this, that, and the 30. You kind of see, I kind of switch some things up. Maybe you notice, maybe you don't. These are the things that drive me crazy. And I have to learn how to be content in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, the next man is trying to get to where you are. And it's the same thing with fragrance. I'm over here complaining, you know, about these hundreds of fragrances or being backed up on reviews or trying to get this content out, this, that, and the third. And there are people behind you that would be begging to have that problem. So learning how to be content, not contention, but learning how to be contentment, not contention, is a real big thing that you have to learn how to practice, especially if you want to be any level of reviewer or influencer. We all have influence. You can influence anybody. Most of y'all, you can sell a fragrance to your brother, sister, parents, cousin, whatever. If you were in Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, you could redirect somebody and sell a fragrance. So you can start a channel. If you can do that in person. And people are like, well, it's different talking to the camera. That's the problem. You're talking to the camera instead of talking to the people. If you really want to know, and this is not me saying like, oh, I'm doing it like I'm successful. No, what I'm saying is you become more successful when you teach the things that you're learning along the way. I'm forever a student and I'm still learning. And one of the things I want you to understand is that don't talk to the camera, talk to people. The reason God has blessed me and I've been graced to experience the success that I have since August of last year, over the last 12 months, basically, is because I've learned to replace the camera with people. I've learned to replace the audience I've learned to replace the algorithm with the audience. I don't do things for the algorithm. I do things for my audience. I do things based on the questions you guys ask. Let me give you another quick tip. I really had no intentions of really going here and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. But every single question, every single comment on your videos is another video. It's another piece of content. You can literally take the time, shout out a reviewer, shout out a follower, a subscriber. Hey, this video right here is dedicated to such and such. Such and such was like, hey, which is better? Hawass, Tropical, or LeBeau Paradise Garden? So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a video. What's the better fragrance? Versace Hawass Tropical versus Jean Paul Gaultier's LeBeau Paradise Garden. And there are gonna be more questions. So these are the things that I'm always talking about, that I'm always thinking about. You don't believe me? Ask the fellas. They'll tell you. They'll vouch for me. And so again, this is going to be another unofficial bonus episode in the podcast or whatever. This one, the last one I didn't make an audio version of. This one I will probably make available for audio as well. So forgive me for those people that were listening to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of that. But if you want more content specifically like this that is geared to content creation, because there are a lot of things that go into this. Like I said, it does everything. Are the lights that I have and all these different things in the microphone, is it necessary? No. Like, do you have to have it? No. But does it make me stand out amongst everybody else? For the most part, yeah. Because there are only a few other people that create content on this level. Not because everybody can't, but because some people may not have the time. They may not have the equipment. They may not have the infrastructure. I'm blessed to be in a position where literally all I got to do is sit at the desk and turn the camera on, turn the lights on, and hit record. You know what I'm saying? And that's the last thing I'll say. In the famous words of Sean Kendall from Think Media, at some point, you just got to press record. So I'm confident, and I can say that everybody has something to say. Nothing is stupid. Don't be afraid of the negative Nancy's out there. They're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Learn to embrace the commentary while also ignoring it and taking it with a grain of salt. One of my biggest complaints is, Walt, you talk too much. But I love context. I mean, this is something I struggle with in life. Me and my boss just had a conversation about this yesterday. She was like, listen, I don't need a paragraph. I need you to get straight to the point. But the problem is, in my past, I've gotten in trouble for getting straight to the point. So it's kind of like so me giving context is kind of like a trauma response. And you see how it affects me. So it affects me in my personal life. It affects me in my professional life. It affects me in my creative life. And so it's like, yeah, I would love to just jump right to the fragrance. But it's like, no, I want you to understand why I'm approaching the fragrance like this, why I feel this way. And that's why I tell people, those of you who like that, you rock with me and you rock with the channel. Those of you who don't, you just comment and be like, hey, I wish you would get straight to the point, you know? And that's why we try to do timestamps and all those different types of things when I can do it. Most of the time I don't now. It's like either you're gonna watch it or you're not gonna watch it, or you will just scrub. You'll go on YouTube and just scrub to the point or whatever. But nonetheless, like I said, it's a lot that goes into this. So man, Take Notes podcast is about taking notes. It's so much more than just the notes and the profiles and the accords and all those different types of things, man. There's a science to all of this. And so if you want to hear me talk more about the science, absolutely. You know, if you want to see me do I used to do like live reviewing, channel reviews or whatever. Like I said, I don't want to take the channel in this weird direction. But this is what playlists are for, you know? So when you're blessed to have playlists or whatever, you can kind of categorize everything. I'm trying to structure my content like Netflix. Like Netflix keeps raising the price. Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Hulu, everybody keeps raising the price. But is the content justifying the price increasing? I want you to at least be able to say, you know what? Walt is pushing out content, and it's not Tubi level content. Walt is pushing out quality, high level quality content. And so I'm getting my quote unquote money's worth. Whether that's watch time, that's time that you can't get back because you watch me give all this context, or if you actually decide to purchase something. Like it all benefits everybody. So yeah, holla at your boy, you know what I'm saying? Hit me in the comments, let me know what you think. You know, my fellow reviewers, if you've been thinking about starting a channel, whatever. Some of you have even like purchased my masterclass, taken a course with me. And I know you're gonna have some people like, this man out here selling classes on how to be a fragrance. Bro, those are things that I've had for like the past 3 or 4 years. And I do private coaching, all those consultations, all those different types of things. Again, I'm just bringing it to the community and to my people. It ain't for everybody, but it's for the people that rock with me. And I don't have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it all. Some people be like, you know, I'll have some other reviewers that would be like, well, it don't take all that. It ain't that deep. And I'm like, you're right. For you, it's not. For me, in my house, this is what we're gonna do. Nonetheless, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. Y'all stay safe, be easy, and appreciate you listening to the podcast. And yeah, we will be back with official episodes probably in August. Probably August is how we're gonna do that, so we can start clean. And I'll still be putting out some of this bonus behind the scenes content. But nonetheless, I appreciate y'all. Signing off, man. Y'all be easy.